You may begin.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here on our last day together. My name is Caleb Sharp, and I believe that a world without music is not worth living in. Likewise, a school without music education would not be worth learning in. Music has been with me my entire life, from singing nursery rhymes in pre-K to singing and playing instruments all throughout elementary school and playing in orchestra through middle, high school, and college. Now, as a music educator, I have a deep appreciation for music as a vehicle for a quality music education. Even if your only experience with music in school has been being in elementary school, singing, playing those music games, or maybe playing an instrument for a year or two, I think you can have a deep appreciation for the importance of and the necessity of music in education. See, music education is a core subject area that provides key learning experiences for students across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. But music programs have faced countless challenges that call for changes in policy to support these programs and protect them from being removed from schools. In this speech, I'm going to outline why I think music education is important, some of the problems that music education faces throughout our Commonwealth, and some of the things that we can do to support music education and be advocates. Let's talk first about the importance of music education. Music students generally perform better academically than those who are not involved in music. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Educational Psychology titled "A Population-Level Analysis of Associations Between School Music Participation and Academic Achievement" found evidence of a positive relationship between school music participation and high school exam scores in English, math, and science. Students who were involved in instrumental music, in particular, saw the most improvement on scores. With so much of school funding based on these standardized test scores, music's boost to these scores ought to prove valuable in the eyes of educators and policymakers. Music also teaches so much more than just music. Students learn important life skills such as confidence, self-reflection, teamwork, emotional awareness, creativity, and goal setting. And don't just take it from me when I say that music leaves a lasting impression on an education. Take it from the nearly 1,400 Pennsylvania citizens who wrote unique testimonies in the PMEA advocacy book. That's the Pennsylvania Music Educators Association advocacy book from 2015. Nearly 367 pages of personal testimonies responding to the question, how has music education impacted your life? Notable responses come from the former superintendent of the New Hope Soulbury School District, a member of the House of Representatives, and an internationally renowned opera singer, and of course, the 2015 Pennsylvania Teacher of the Year. Many responses shared the sentiment that music was a unique experience that taught more than just music, through personal anecdotes of their own music educational experiences from a variety of sources. Now, if music education is so valuable, then why is it potentially in danger? Let's discuss some of the problems that music programs face. I'm talking about the F word, funding. According to the 2023 PMEA policy playbook, Pennsylvania funding has been cut from over 50% towards schools to a measly 38%. That puts Pennsylvania at 44th place in the country for funding for public schools. The lack of state funding for education leads music programs to rely on secondary methods of fundraising, whether it be booster organizations, parent organizations, or just general fundraising. This is what they need to do in order to have an adequate music program. According to the article, Music Booster Groups, Alleviating or Exacerbating Funding Inequality in American Public School Music Education, published in the Journal of Research in Music Education. Urban schools typically required fundraising in order to offer adequate music education, whereas schools in suburban areas tend to fundraise to provide an enriched music program. So there's an inequality between suburban and urban areas already, and this is furthered by the reliance on property taxes. Because when the state doesn't give funding, the school districts have to increase property tax. And if you live in a poor area, property tax isn't going to help too much. So the disadvantages are much more. Music is also at risk of being cut, despite being very small in the financial footprint, in the budget. According to that same 2023 PMEA policy playbook, the average cost of a music student every year is $368. The average spending on music programs is less than 2%, about 1.9% of the operating expenditures of a school district. 85% of that 1.9% goes towards teacher salaries, and less than 10% goes towards materials and supplies. Historically, music and the arts has been at higher risk of being cut if funding is not adequate, but just being that small, they get cut anyway. And of course, these funding deficiencies lead to staff shortages. I know this from personal experience, there are many music educators who don't just teach at one building. They're split between 2, if not 3 buildings. And so higher funding would mean more music educators, more music specialists in one building. So now that we know about some of the roadblocks that hinder music education, let's see how we could fix these issues, or at least advocate for them to change. ESSA. This is the Every Student Succeeds Act of 2015. This is something that's very good. We should support this. It defines music as a core subject for the first time in legislative history. It defines it as a well-rounded education. This allows districts across the nation to receive flexible grants from the federal government that support need-based initiatives and an increased quality of education. This includes funding for more teaching positions, specifically music education specialists and professional development included. So just supporting this 2015 Act is not enough, because it was supposed to be renewed in the 2020-2021 school year, but has been sort of left on the back burner. We can talk to our local representatives. We can talk to them about the importance of increasing the basic education subsidy in Pennsylvania from that 38% at least to the national median of 47%. I mean, come on, Pennsylvania used to be above 50%, but now we're ranking 44th in the state. But who do you talk to? Well, you can go to the legislator, find your legislator tool. It's at legis.pa.gov. You can also search in Google, find your legislator. You can type in your address, and it'll show you your local district representative, it'll show you your state senator, it'll give you phone numbers, it'll give you email addresses. You can reach out to them and talk to them about the things that matter to you, not just music education, if it matters to me. You can also engage with local music programs, right? You all went to high schools, and they most likely had music programs, all right? Go to concerts, support the arts, attend concerts, go to fundraisers, all right? These are the things you can do to directly impact your local music education programs. So we've talked about the importance of music education. We've talked about the challenges it's faced, and we've talked about potential solutions or ways to be an advocate. I'd like to leave you all with a quote from a student named Alexis Edwards from Cambria County, PA. Music education has taught me motivation, determination, perseverance, and that failure is okay. It's taught me how to make friendships and how to work with others towards one common goal. It's taught me that if you want something, you work for it. That even if you work as hard as you possibly can, someone will be better than you. But that's okay. I don't express myself very well in words or art, but I can express every emotion I've ever had in music, and I do. I express my sorrow, my anger, and my happiness through music. Music education has taught me how to live. Thank you.